Starting my speech in three, two, one. This House would adopt a student loan mechanism in Indonesia. I believe that adopting a student loan system in Indonesia would create more problems than solutions. Instead of expanding educational opportunity, it risks trapping young Indonesians in debt, worsening inequality, and shifting the responsibility of education from the state onto students themselves. I'm going to be presenting three main arguments. So the first one is student loans create long-term financial burdens. Education should empower young people and not burden them with years worth of debt. Under a student loan system, students borrow money to pay tuition and then repay it after graduation. This sounds fair on paper, but in reality, many graduates do not immediately obtain stable or high-paying jobs. Here in Indonesia, youth unemployment and underemployment are still significant. If students are required to pay loans while struggling financially, this creates pressure for years instead of helping students through poverty, and loans may increase stress and financial insecurities. Countries like the United States show how student debt can become a national crisis, such as delay marriage, buying homes, or even having children because they're financially trapped or financially unstable. Students only pay after they get jobs, they said, but having a job doesn't automatically mean someone can comfortably repay loans. Many jobs in Indonesia are still informal or low paying, so graduates may still struggle to pay loans. Instead of focusing on building careers and starting businesses, graduates will spend years worrying about repayments. My second argument is student loans worsen social inequality. The government claims student loans increase access to higher education. However, we believe they actually deepen inequality. Why? Because privileged or wealthy students can simply pay tuition directly. They graduate without debt and begin adult life with financial freedom. Poor and middle class students, however, would carry financial burdens for years. Furthermore, many low income families in Indonesia are culturally cautious about debt. Parents may discourage Parents may discourage their children from attending universities because they fear of having to return the money that they borrowed. Without loans, students cannot afford universities anyways. Loans aren't the only solutions. One of them are expanding scholarships or even subsidizing tuition. If the state truly values education, then it should invest in students directly, such as free education, and not focus on free lunch. My third argument is Indonesia is not economically prepared for such a system. So, student loan systems are difficult even in developed countries. Implementing them successfully requires strong economic stability, and Indonesia still struggles in this area. First, many workers are employed in the informal sector, making repayment collection difficult. Second, graduate salaries are often inconsistent and relatively low. Third, government inefficiency and corruption remains concerns. It could even face misuse of funds or mismanagement. If many graduates can't repay their loans, they'd suffer financially, and the system becomes unstable. Rather than copying policies from wealthier countries without considering Indonesia's realities, we should focus on policies that match our national conditions. Education doesn't only benefit individuals, but benefits society as a whole. Education citizens contribute to economic growth, innovation, or even healthcare. If students enter universities but leave with years of financial pressure, then the system has merely postponed hardship instead of solving it. They may say loans are an investment, but investments have risks, and they shouldn't place all the risk on young people who may have a little control over the economy. So, in conclusions, the motions fail because it measures success only at university entries, while ignoring the damaging consequences after graduation. Student loan mechanisms in Indonesia would burden graduates with debts, worsen inequality, create major economic risks. If students enter universities only to spend years under financial stress, then it is inefficient. Instead of building a debt based education system, Indonesia should strengthen affordable public education and scholarships instead. Thank you.